My name is Julian, I'm 38, and for 6 years I believed I had the perfect marriage. 6 years of thinking I was enough. I wasn't. It happened at a charity gala, black tie, champagne, 300 witnesses, when Roman Drake, an A-list celebrity, walked across the ballroom and publicly claimed my wife like she was his property. That moment didn't just break my marriage. It broke everything I thought was real. What did I actually find? Texts planning my financial ruin. A hidden camera in her anniversary necklace revealing secret meetings. Audio of her laughing at my passiveness. Within 72 hours, 2 careers were destroyed, lawyers were calling, and 5 women found the courage to come forward. And Celeste? She was touching up her lipstick in the bathroom, completely unaware the recording was already playing. Before I do, take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if this story earns it. Drop your city and your local time in the comments. I like knowing who's out there. Jules, have you seen my diamond earrings? Celeste appears at the top of the stairs, radiant in a black evening gown that probably cost more than my first car. Her blonde hair is swept up, makeup flawless, and she's holding her phone like it's a lifeline. Jewelry box, I say, keeping my voice neutral. She doesn't thank me, just turns and disappears back into our bedroom. Our bedroom. The phrase feels increasingly inaccurate. I'm Julian Kesler. Jules to anyone who actually knows me. Late 30s, CEO of a cybersecurity firm I built from nothing. Started as a hacker in my 20s. Went legitimate. Made money. Not Roman Drake money, but enough. Enough for this brownstone in the historic district. Enough for Celeste's lifestyle. Enough to feel like I'd made it. Funny how enough stops being enough. Tonight is the annual arts gala. The kind of event where old money mingles with new celebrities and everyone pretends they care about supporting local artists. Celeste has been obsessing over this night for months. New dress, new shoes, new friends, everything new except her husband. We're leaving in 10 minutes, she calls down. Please try to look presentable. I glance down at my tuxedo. It's perfectly tailored, cleaned, pressed. But I know what she means. She means try to fit in with her new crowd. Try not to embarrass her with my blue-collar roots or my sarcastic commentary on the phoniness of it all. The device in my jacket pocket feels heavier than its actual weight. It's a modified smartphone loaded with software I designed myself. Insurance, I've been calling it. For what? I wasn't entirely sure until about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I found the texts. Not through snooping. Celeste left her laptop open, messages syncing automatically. I saw his name first. Roman Drake. The Roman Drake A-list actor turned musician currently starring in some blockbuster franchise. And below his name, messages that made my stomach turn. Can't wait to see you tonight. Tell the husband you're at yoga. You looked incredible yesterday. Still thinking about that dress on my floor. He doesn't deserve you. You know that, right? And Celeste's responses, eager and intimate, planning their next meeting, laughing about my obliviousness. I could have confronted her then. Could have screamed, thrown things, demanded answers. Instead, I did what I do best. I gathered information. I hired a private investigator discreetly, paying cash. I documented everything. I consulted with a lawyer about recording laws in our state. One-party consent, meaning I could legally record any conversation I was part of. And I started planning because the thing about being a cybersecurity expert is that you understand systems. You understand how to find vulnerabilities, how to exploit them, how to bring the whole structure crashing down. And I just discovered a massive vulnerability in my life. Celeste descends the stairs like she's walking a red carpet. She is beautiful. I can admit that objectively. Tall, elegant, the kind of woman who turns heads. We met 6 years ago at a tech conference where she was doing PR for a startup. She was charming, funny, seemed genuinely interested in my work. We married after a year of dating. For a while, it was good. Then her PR firm folded and she started spending more time on social media, building her brand as an influencer. Started hanging out with a different crowd, socialites, celebrities, people who measured worth in followers and photo opportunities. You look nice, I say, because that's what husbands say. Thank you. She checks her phone again, frowning. The car should be here any minute. Looking forward to tonight. She glances at me and for a second something flickers in her eyes. Guilt, anxiety. Then it's gone, replaced by her public smile. Of course, it's going to be amazing. The car arrives, a hired luxury sedan, because Celeste insisted my Tesla wasn't appropriate for a gala entrance. We ride in silence, her scrolling through Instagram, me watching the city lights blur past. The venue is the Grand Meridian, a historic hotel with a ballroom that hosts every major society event. Red carpet, photographers, the works. Celeste's face lights up as we approach, and she grabs my arm, not affectionately, but performatively, like I'm a prop for the cameras. We pose. She smiles brilliantly. I manage something that probably looks like indigestion. Inside, the ballroom is packed. Easily 300 people, maybe more. Crystal chandeliers, champagne fountains, a string quartet playing something classical. The walls are lined with artwork from local artists. Pieces that will be auctioned off later to support the Arts Foundation. Celeste, darling. A woman in a red dress swoops in, air kissing both of Celeste's cheeks. This is Simone, Celeste's best friend and publicist. A woman who treats every conversation like it's being recorded for posterity. Probably because she actually records everything. Her phone is always in her hand, always pointed at someone. Simone, you look stunning. Celeste gushes. Not as stunning as you. That dress. Who are you wearing? They launch into fashion talk and I fade into the background. This is my role at these events. The silent husband, the wallet, the person who exists to make Celeste look good by comparison. I grab a champagne flute from a passing waiter and scan the room. I spot Malik near the bar and relief washes over me. Malik is my best friend, ex-military, now runs a security consulting firm. We met 10 years ago when he was doing private security and I needed protection during a particularly nasty corporate espionage case. He's the only person who knows what I'm planning tonight. I make my way over. Tell me you spiked the punch. Malik grins. Not yet, but the night's young. How you holding up? Like a man about to commit social suicide. You sure about this? I take a long drink of champagne. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Then I've got your back. Always. Across the room, I see him. Roman Drake. Surrounded by admirers, holding court like the celebrity he is. He's tall, conventionally handsome in that Hollywood way, wearing a tuxedo that probably cost more than most people's monthly rent. His entourage includes 2 security guards who look like they bench press cars for fun. And he's looking at my wife. Celeste hasn't noticed him yet. She's still talking to Simone and another woman I recognize as Cassandra, a socialite who inherited old money and spends her time judging everyone else. But Roman is staring at Celeste with an expression that makes my blood boil. Possessive, hungry, entitled. There's your target, Malik murmurs. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. The evening progresses. Dinner is served. Some elaborate multi-course meal that I barely taste. Celeste sits beside me, but might as well be on another planet, constantly checking her phone, laughing at jokes from the people around us, people whose names I don't remember because they've never bothered to actually talk to me. Then comes the moment I've been waiting for and dreading in equal measure. Roman Drake stands and walks across the ballroom. The crowd parts for him like he's royalty. He walks straight to our table, straight to Celeste, and the smile on his face is predatory. Celeste, he says, his voice carrying that actor's projection. You look absolutely breathtaking tonight. She blushes. Actually blushes. Roman, thank you. Have you met my husband, Julian? He glances at me like I'm a piece of furniture. We haven't had the pleasure. No handshake offered, just a dismissive look before turning back to Celeste. I need to speak with you privately. Oh, well, we're in the middle of it's not a request. The temperature at the table drops. Simone's eyes go wide. Cassandra leans in, sensing drama. I set down my fork very carefully. Excuse me, I say. Roman finally looks at me directly. This doesn't concern you. My wife concerns me. Not anymore. He turns to Celeste. You're coming with me tonight. We've discussed this. It's non-negotiable. The ballroom has gone quiet around us. People are staring. Phones are coming out. And Celeste, my wife, the woman I married, the woman who promised to love and honor me, is looking at Roman with something like relief. Roman, not here, she whispers. Yes, here. I'm done hiding. You're done hiding. If you refuse, my security will escort you out. Your choice. I stand up. You're threatening my wife in public. Roman's smile is cold. I'm claiming what's mine. She's been mine for months. You're just too pathetic to see it. The words hit like physical blows around us. Gasps. Simone's phone is definitely recording now. Cassandra looks thrilled. And Celeste stands, smooths her dress, and says, I'm sorry, Jules. I really am. Then she takes Roman's offered arm and walks away. The ballroom erupts and whispers. Phones flash. I stand there frozen as my wife leaves with another man in front of 300 witnesses. Malik appears at my side. Jules, I'm fine, I say, though I'm not. I'm shaking with rage and humiliation and something else. Something that feels like freedom. You want to leave? No. I reach into my jacket pocket, feel the device there. I want to stay. Trust me. I walk out of the ballroom, but not to leave. I head to the venue's AV control room where Daria is waiting. Daria is the kind of person most people don't notice. Mid-30s, dark hair, usually in a ponytail, dressed in all black with a tech company logo on her shirt. She's the AV technician for the Grand Meridian. And more importantly, she's been on my payroll for the last 2 weeks. You look like hell, she says when I walk into the control room. Just watched my wife leave with her celebrity boyfriend in front of everyone I know. How should I look? She winces. Fair point. You ready to do this? More than ready. The control room is a tech nerd's dream. Monitors showing every angle of the ballroom, audio boards, video switching equipment, and most importantly, direct control over the venue's sound system and projection screens. I've got everything queued up, Daria says, pulling up a file on her laptop. Audio is clean, video is synced. You sure this is legal? Checked with 3 different lawyers. One-party consent state I was present for all recordings and there's a strong public interest argument given the threats were covered. And you're sure you want to do this? Once this goes out, there's no taking it back. I think about Celeste's face as she walked away with Roman. Think about all the nights she lied about where she was going. All the times she made me feel small and worthless. All the ways she systematically dismantled our marriage while I tried to hold it together. I'm sure. Let's burn it all down. The recordings I have are damning. 3 weeks of surveillance, including audio from a private negotiation I had with Roman 2 weeks ago, where I confronted him about the affair. He'd laughed at me, told me Celeste was his now, threatened legal action if I tried to interfere. He'd been explicit about his intentions, crude about their relationship, and made it clear he saw me as nothing more than an obstacle to be removed. Video from a lunch meeting between Celeste and Simone, where they discussed the affair in detail. Celeste had been wearing a necklace I gave her for our anniversary. I'd hidden a camera in the pendant, completely legal, as it was my property, and I had reasonable suspicion of infidelity. Text messages and emails I'd recovered from Celeste's cloud backup, including conversations about hiding assets, plans to divorce me after the gala, and mocking commentary about my appearance, my background, my worth as a husband, and the crown jewel audio from earlier tonight, recorded from the device in my pocket, of Roman's public threat and Celeste's willing departure. How do you want to play this? Daria asks. I need to get back to the ballroom. When I give you the signal, I'll adjust my tie, start the playback audio first through the PA system, then bring up the video on the projection screens. Make sure it's loud enough that everyone hears clear enough that there's no ambiguity. What about security? They'll try to shut it down. Malik's handling security. He's got friends working the event tonight. They'll be distracted. Daria nods slowly. You know this is going to get ugly, right? It's already ugly. I'm just making sure everyone else sees it. I head back to the ballroom. The whispers start as soon as I enter. People pointing, staring, some with pity, some with barely concealed glee. I'm the cuckold husband, the man whose wife publicly humiliated him. In their eyes, I'm already defeated. They have no idea what's coming. I spot Celeste and Roman at a corner table sitting close, his arm around her shoulders. She's laughing at something he said, looking happier than I've seen her in months. Simone is with them, phone out, probably live streaming the whole thing to her followers. Cassandra intercepts me near the bar. Julian, I'm so sorry about what happened. It was incredibly rude. Was it? I keep my voice neutral. Well, yes. I mean, Roman could have been more discreet, but honestly, darling, you must have known something was wrong. A woman like Celeste, she needs attention, excitement. You're so serious all the time. Serious? Don't take this the wrong way, but you never really fit into our world. Celeste has always been destined for something more glamorous. Roman can give her that. I smile and something in my expression makes Cassandra take a step back. You're absolutely right, Cassandra. She deserves everything that's coming to her. Before she can respond, I walk away, making my way toward the stage where the evening's MC, a local news anchor, is preparing to announce the charity auction. Excuse me, I say, approaching him. I need to make an announcement. Sir, the program is already set. It's about a substantial donation to the Arts Foundation. Very substantial. His eyes light up. Money talks, especially at charity events. Well, in that case, of course, right after my introduction. Perfect. I stand to the side of the stage watching the crowd. Malik catches my eye from across the room and nods. He's positioned near the main security station, ready to run interference. Daria is in the control room, finger on the trigger. The MC takes the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. We have a special announcement from Julian Kesler, who has generously offered to make a significant contribution to tonight's cause. Polite applause. I walk onto the stage and the room goes quiet. I can feel Celeste's eyes on me, probably wondering what I'm doing. Roman looks amused, like this is entertainment. I take the microphone. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. I want to talk about truth. Confused murmurs ripple through the crowd. Truth in art, truth in relationships, truth in how we present ourselves to the world. We're all here tonight supporting artists who dedicate their lives to revealing truth through their work. So, I thought it was appropriate to share some truth with all of you. I adjust my tie, the signal. About 3 months ago, my wife began an affair with Roman Drake. I discovered this through text messages, photographs, and eventually direct surveillance. For weeks, I documented their relationship, hoping I was wrong, hoping there was some explanation. The crowd is dead silent now. Celeste is standing, face pale. Roman looks furious. But there was no explanation, just betrayal. And tonight, Mr. Drake made that betrayal public by threatening my wife. Yes, threatening to leave with him. What you witnessed earlier wasn't romance. It was coercion. And I have proof. Daria starts the playback. Roman's voice fills the ballroom crystal clear through the PA system. Listen, Kesler, your wife is done with you. She's been done for months. She stays with you out of pity. Nothing more. After the gala, she's leaving you. We've already discussed it. If you try to stop her, if you try to make trouble, I have lawyers who will bury you. I have resources you can't imagine. You're a nobody who got lucky with a tech company. I'm Roman Drake. Know your place. My own voice, calm and measured. You're threatening me. I'm stating facts. Celeste is mine now. The sooner you accept that, the easier this will be for everyone, especially you. The audio cuts and the ballroom erupts. Shouts, gasps, people pulling out phones. Roman is on his feet, trying to push through the crowd toward the stage. His security guards are moving, but Malik's friends block their path politely, professionally, but firmly. Wait, I say into the microphone. There's more. The projection screens flicker to life. Video of Celeste and Simone at lunch. Their voice is clear. Simone, are you sure about this? Jules seems like a good guy. Celeste, he's boring, Simone. God, he's so boring. All he talks about is work and security protocols. Roman makes me feel alive. He's exciting, powerful. He's everything Jules isn't. Simone, but the divorce. Celeste will be handled. I've already moved money into accounts Jules doesn't know about. My lawyer says I can claim emotional neglect, maybe even financial abuse since he controls most of the assets. I'll get half of everything plus alimony. Then I'll be free to be with Roman publicly. Simone, what about Jules? Won't he fight it? Celeste laughs on screen. Jules? He'll probably just accept it. He's too passive to fight for anything. That's why I fell out of love with him in the first place. No backbone. The video ends. The silence is deafening. Then chaos. People shouting. Security trying to restore order. Press swarming toward the stage. I see Celeste's face. Shock, horror, rage. Simone looks like she might faint. Cassandra is recording everything on her phone, probably already posting it to social media. Roman breaks through the crowd getting close to the stage. You bastard. You recorded private conversations. That's illegal. One party consent state, I say calmly into the microphone so everyone can hear. I was present for our conversation, making it completely legal. The video of my wife was recorded using my property, the necklace she's wearing in that footage, which I gave her and which contained a legally placed camera after I had reasonable suspicion of infidelity. Also legal. I checked with 3 different attorneys. Everything you've seen and heard tonight is admissible evidence. I'll sue you for everything you have. Try it. I have more recordings, hours of them, including some that detail your pattern of manipulation with other women. Want me to share those, too? Roman goes pale. Behind him, Celeste is crying, mascara running, Simone trying to comfort her while simultaneously still recording. You're all witnesses, I continue, addressing the crowd. You saw Roman Drake publicly threaten and coerce my wife. You heard him admit to it in private. You heard my wife planning to defraud me in our divorce. Everything is documented. Everything is legal and everything is now public. I set down the microphone and walk off the stage. The crowd parts for me like I'm radioactive. Some people look horrified. Some look impressed. Most just look shocked, unable to process what they've just witnessed. Malik meets me at the exit. Cars waiting. Time to go. Not yet. One more stop. We leave through the kitchen exit, avoiding the chaos in the main ballroom. Behind us, I can hear shouting. The MC trying desperately to restore order. Security calling for backup. My phone is already blowing up with notifications, texts, calls, social media mentions. The story is spreading like wildfire. Where to? Malik asks as we reach his car. A black SUV parked in the service alley. Roman's building. The penthouse. You sure that's smart? Guy's probably going to have you arrested. He's still at the gala dealing with the fallout and I need to finish this. Malik starts the engine. You know, I support you, brother, but I got to ask, is this revenge or justice? Does it matter? Might matter to a jury someday. I pull out my phone, open the tracking app one installed on Celeste's car 3 weeks ago. Another little piece of insurance. It's both and it's necessary. They were going to destroy me quietly, take everything I built and move on without consequences. I'm just making sure the consequences are public. Fair enough. But if we're breaking any laws, we're not. I promise. Everything I'm doing is legal, if ethically questionable. That's what worries me. The drive takes 20 minutes. Roman's building is in the luxury district, a glass tower with a doorman, valet parking, and security that costs more than most people's yearly salary. But security systems are my specialty, and I've spent the last 2 weeks studying this building's vulnerabilities. We park across the street. I pull out my laptop, connect to the building's Wi-Fi, which is encrypted, but not well enough, and start working. What are you doing? Malik asks. The building has a digital security system. Cameras, door locks, elevator controls, all worked. And like most luxury buildings, they prioritized convenience over actual security. I can access the system remotely. That sounds illegal. It's a gray area. I'm not stealing data or causing damage. Just observing. I pull up the camera feeds. The lobby is quiet. Just the night doorman reading a magazine. The elevator shows empty and the penthouse level, Roman's floor, shows Celeste entering his apartment. She's here, I say. Must have left the gala right after my presentation. What's the play? I'm going to record their conversation, then I'm going to broadcast it. Broadcast it where? I smile. Everywhere. The building has a feature common in luxury developments. A digital display system in the lobby and common areas for announcements, advertisements, and community information. It's connected to the same network as the security system. And it's about to become my broadcasting platform. I hack into the penthouse's audio system. Roman has a smart home setup, voice-activated speakers in every room. Expensive, convenient, and completely unsecured. Within minutes, I'm listening to Celeste and Roman arguing. Can't believe he did that, Celeste is saying in front of everyone. How could he humiliate me like that? He's pathetic, Roman responds. Don't worry about it. My lawyers will handle him. Your lawyers, Roman, he has recordings. He has evidence. Everyone saw a desperate man trying to save his failing marriage. We'll spin this. You're the victim here. He was controlling, abusive, drove you into my arms. Will that work? Of course it will. I'm Roman Drake. You think anyone's going to take his side over mine? But the recordings were obtained through surveillance and manipulation. We'll claim he edited them, took things out of context. By tomorrow, the narrative will be about his obsessive behavior, not our relationship. There's a pause. Then Celeste says, what about us? Is this still happening? Are we still together? Roman's laugh is cold. Celeste, you're a beautiful woman. We've had fun, but this has gotten complicated. I need to focus on damage control for my career. Maybe we should take a break. A break? Are you serious? I just left my husband for you. You left your husband because your marriage was over. Don't put that on me. You said you loved me. You said we'd be together. I say a lot of things. You're an adult. You should know better than to take celebrity pillow talk seriously. The sound of something breaking. Celeste screaming. You bastard. You absolute bastard. I gave up everything for you. You gave up a boring tech guy for a chance at real fame. Don't pretend this was about love. You wanted access to my world and I wanted a beautiful woman on my arm. We both got what we wanted. I'm calling my lawyer. I'm going to sue you for what? We had an affair. That's not illegal. And good luck proving any promises I made. It's your word against mine, and I'm a lot more believable than a scorned housewife. I stopped the recording. Got it. That's brutal, Malik says. Guy's a real piece of work. Yeah. And now everyone's going to know. I connect to the building's display system and upload the audio file. Then I set it to play on loop on every screen in the building, lobby, elevators, common areas, even the digital directory in the parking garage. Roman's voice echoes through his own building. You gave up a boring tech guy for a chance at real fame. Don't pretend this was about love. Celeste's anguished response. I gave up everything for you. You gave up a boring tech guy for a chance at real fame. Within seconds, people are coming out of their apartments, gathering in the lobby, pulling out phones to record. The doorman is frantically trying to shut down the system, but I've locked him out. It'll play for at least 20 minutes before building maintenance can override it. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Roman's voice is shaking with rage. What the hell do you think you're doing? Providing context. You said people would take your side. Let's test that theory. I will destroy you. I have resources you can't imagine. You have money and fame. I have skills and evidence. Let's see which matters more. This is harassment. I'm calling the police. Please do. I'd love to explain to them how you coerced my wife, threatened me, and then dumped her the moment things got complicated. I'm sure that'll be great for your image. He hangs up. 2 minutes later, police sirens wail in the distance. Time to go, Malik says. Not yet. One more thing. I pull up my social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and post the audio file with a simple caption. Roman Drake, everyone, this is who he really is. Then I tag every major entertainment news outlet, celebrity gossip site, and journalist I can think of. By the time we pull away from the building, the post has 50 shares. By the time we reach my house, it's 5,000. By morning, it'll be millions. I don't sleep that night. Can't sleep. I sit in my home office watching the internet explode. The audio from Roman's building goes viral within hours. Entertainment news sites pick it up. Celebrity gossip shows start calling it Drake Gate. Twitter is a war zone of opinions. Some people defending Roman, claiming the recording is fake or taken out of context, but most people turning on him with the fury of betrayed fans. Celeste's social media accounts are bombarded with comments. Her Instagram, which had 200,000 followers yesterday, loses 50,000 overnight. The comments are brutal. Gold digger got what she deserved. Imagine throwing away your marriage for a guy who dumps you the same night. Both of them are trash. Feel bad for the husband. Simone tries to control the narrative, posting a statement on Celeste's behalf. Celeste Kesler is the victim of an abusive relationship and manipulative surveillance. She asks for privacy during this difficult time. The internet doesn't buy it. Someone digs up the video of Celeste and Simone at lunch, the one I played at the gala. It's been recorded by dozens of phones and is now circulating everywhere. Her own words condemn her. Jules. He'll probably just accept it. He's too passive to fight for anything. Doesn't sound like an abuse victim to me. One comment reads with 10,000 likes. At 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize, but I answer anyway. Mr. Kesler, this is Detective Sarah Mitchell with the City Police. I need to ask you some questions about the events at the Grand Meridian tonight. My stomach tightens. Am I being charged with something? Not at this time, but Mr. Drake has filed a complaint alleging harassment and illegal surveillance. I need to hear your side. Everything I did was legal. I have documentation from 3 different attorneys confirming the legality of my recordings and their public disclosure. Can you send me that documentation? I can have it to you within the hour. Please do. And Mr. Kesler, I'd advise you to stay away from both Mr. Drake and your wife for the time being. Things are heated and I don't want this situation to escalate further. Understood. After I hang up, I email Detective Mitchell every piece of legal documentation I have, including the attorney's opinions on recording laws, public interest disclosure, and the legality of surveillance in cases of suspected infidelity. Then I draft a press release. If this is going to be a public battle, I need to control my narrative. Statement from Julian Kesler. Last night, I made the difficult decision to publicly expose my wife's infidelity and her lover's threatening behavior. I did not make this decision lightly. For months, I watched my marriage crumble while being told I was imagining things, being paranoid, being controlling. I gathered evidence not to hurt anyone, but to protect myself and to document the truth. Roman Drake publicly threatened and coerced my wife at a charity event in front of hundreds of witnesses. This was not romance. It was manipulation. When I attempted to address this privately, he mocked me, threatened legal action and made clear his intention to continue his relationship with my wife regardless of the consequences to our marriage or my well-being. My wife Celeste actively planned to defraud me in our divorce, hiding assets and preparing false allegations of abuse. This is documented in recordings that were obtained legally under our state's one-party consent laws. I released this information publicly because I was left with no other option. When powerful people abuse their positions when they threaten and manipulate without consequence. Sometimes the only recourse is transparency. Everything I did was legal. Everything I revealed was true. I do not apologize for defending myself. I ask for privacy as I navigate this difficult time and begin the process of divorce. I post it to my company's website, my personal social media, and send it to every news outlet that's been covering the story. By morning, it's been shared 100,000 times. At 8 a.m., my lawyer calls, "Jules, what the hell have you done?" What I had to do. The internet is losing its mind. Roman Drake's publicist is threatening to sue. Your wife's attorney is calling this domestic abuse. Is it working? He pauses. No, actually, public opinion is overwhelmingly on your side. The recordings are too clear, too damning. Drake looks like a predator. Your wife looks like a gold digger. But that doesn't mean they won't try to make your life hell. Let them try. I have more evidence if they want to push this more. What else do you have? Insurance. If they escalate, I'll release it. If they back down, it stays private. You're playing a dangerous game. I'm playing the only game they left me. The media circus intensifies throughout the day. News vans park outside my house. Reporters call my office. My company's stock actually goes up. Apparently, the public loves an underdog revenge story. Celeste sponsors start dropping her. A fashion brand she was partnering with releases a statement. We do not condone infidelity or fraudulent behavior. We have terminated our relationship with Celeste Kesler effective immediately. 2 more brands follow within hours. Simone tries to salvage things with a tearful video on Instagram. Celeste is my best friend and she's going through the hardest time of her life. Yes, she made mistakes, but she's being crucified by a vindictive ex who violated her privacy and manipulated evidence to make her look bad. She's not the villain here. The comments are merciless. We literally heard her planning to defraud him. How is that manipulated? Stop defending trash behavior. Maybe she should have thought about consequences before cheating. Roman goes into hiding. His publicist releases a statement denying all allegations, claiming the recordings are selectively edited and taken out of context, but no one's buying it. His latest movie's premiere is postponed. His music label releases a vague statement about reviewing the situation. 3 days after the gala, Cassandra reaches out. She wants to meet for coffee. I almost decline, but curiosity wins. We meet at a quiet cafe away from the media attention. You've certainly made an impression, she says, stirring her latte. Not the impression I wanted to make, isn't it, though? You destroyed them both. Celeste's reputation is ruined. Roman's career is in jeopardy. You won. This wasn't about winning, wasn't it? She leans forward. I've known Celeste for 3 years. She's always been ambitious, always been willing to step on people to get what she wants. I watched her use you, watched her mock you behind your back. Honestly, I'm impressed you finally stood up for yourself. You could have warned me. Would you have believed me or would you have thought I was just stirring up drama? She has a point. Why are you telling me this now? Because I want you to know that not everyone in that world is like them. Some of us saw what was happening. Some of us are glad you exposed it. She slides an envelope across the table. These are text messages between Celeste and me. Ones where she explicitly discussed her plans to take you for everything in the divorce. I thought you might want them for your legal proceedings. I open the envelope. The texts are damning. Celeste bragging about hiding money, discussing how to paint me as financially controlling, even joking about claiming I was emotionally abusive to get a better settlement. Why are you giving me these? Because Celeste burned me, too. She borrowed $50,000 last year, promised to pay it back after she secured her future. Now she's broke and can't pay. Consider this my revenge. She stands, smoothing her dress. Good luck, Julian. I hope you take her for everything. After she leaves, I sit with the envelope processing. Even her allies are turning on her. The social circle she was so desperate to join has cast her out. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. We need to talk. Meet me at the Riverside Theater. Midnight. Come alone, RD, Roman Drake wants to meet. This is either incredibly stupid or the final piece of my revenge. I text Malik. Roman wants to meet tonight. Riverside Theater, midnight. His response is immediate. Hell no. That's a setup. Probably, but I need to see this through. Then I'm coming with you and I'm bringing back up. He said, come alone. And I say, screw that. You're not meeting a desperate celebrity with resources and anger management issues by yourself. He's right, of course. But I text back. Stay hidden. Let me talk to him first. If things go bad, step in. Deal. But I'm bringing Daria, too. We'll wire you up. Record everything. Always recording. You taught me well. The Riverside Theater is an abandoned building on the edge of downtown. A relic from the city's more prosperous past. It's been closed for 15 years, slated for demolition, but stuck in permit hell. Perfect place for a clandestine meeting or an ambush. Malik fits me with a wire, a tiny microphone hidden in my collar connected to a transmitter in my pocket. Daria sets up in a van across the street with recording equipment and a direct line to 911 if things go sideways. You sure about this? Malik asks for the 10th time. No, but I'm doing it anyway. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Welcome to my week. I approach the theater at 11:55. The front doors are chained, but there's a side entrance that's been pried open. Inside, the theater is a ghost. Torn seats, water-damaged walls, the smell of mold and decay. My footsteps echo on the old floor. Roman, I call out here. His voice comes from the balcony. I climb the stairs carefully, testing each step. The balcony overlooks the main theater. Rows of broken seats facing a stage with a torn curtain. Roman is standing at the railing, backlit by moonlight through broken windows. He's not alone. Two men flank him, both large, both looking like they could break me in half. You came. He says. You asked. I wasn't sure you would. After everything, I thought you might be too scared. I'm terrified, but I'm here anyway. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. You've destroyed my life. You know that. You destroyed your own life. I just provided documentation. My movie's premiere is cancelled. My record label dropped me. I've lost 3 endorsement deals. All because you couldn't handle your wife leaving you. All because you threatened her in public and then dumped her the same night. That's on you. He moves fast, crossing the space between us in 3 steps. One of his security guards grabs my arm. You arrogant little nobody. You think you can humiliate me and walk away? I think I already did. He hits me. Not hard. He's an actor, not a fighter, but enough to split my lip. The metallic taste of blood fills my mouth. Feel better, I ask. Not even close, he nods to his security. Teach him a lesson. The guard pulls back his fist, and I close my eyes, bracing for impact. It doesn't come. Instead, I hear a grunt, a crash, and when I open my eyes, Malik has the guard in a chokehold while the second guard is on the ground, Daria standing over him with a taser. You really thought we'd let him come alone? Malik says, amateur mistake. Roman backs away, hands up. This is assault. I'll have you arrested for defending someone who was just punched. Good luck with that. Malik releases the guard who slumps to the floor, gasping. Here's how this is going to work. You're going to leave Jules alone. No more threats, no more meetings, no more legal action. In return, he won't release the rest of the evidence he has on you. What evidence? I wipe blood from my mouth. The evidence of you doing this exact same thing to 3 other women in the last 2 years. The pattern of manipulation, the threats, the public humiliation when they didn't comply. I have testimony, recordings, documentation. Want me to make it public? His face goes pale. You're bluffing. Try me. I've already burned my life down. What do I have to lose? We stare at each other and I see the moment he realizes I'm serious. The moment he understands that I'm not the passive husband Celeste described. I'm the man who destroyed both of them in front of the world. And I'll do it again without hesitation. Fine, he says quietly. We're done. No more contact. And the legal threats dropped. Smart choice. I turn to leave, then pause. One more thing. Celeste is going to need money. Her sponsors dropped her. Her friends abandoned her. And she's about to go through an expensive divorce. I'm sure you'll help her out, right? Since you care about her so much. Go to hell. Already there. Might as well bring everyone else with me. We leave the theater. Malik's van is waiting. Daria at the wheel. As we drive away, I watch the building recede in the side mirror. Roman's silhouette still visible in the balcony window. You okay? Malik asks. Yeah, split lip, bruised ego. But I'll live. That was reckless. That was necessary. He needed to know I'm not afraid of him. And the evidence you mentioned, the other women exists. Found it while researching him. Was going to keep it private unless he pushed. Now he knows I have leverage. Daria glances back from the driver's seat. You're kind of terrifying, you know that. Good. I'm tired of being the nice guy who gets walked on. My phone buzzes. A text from Celeste. We need to talk about the divorce. I delete it without responding. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in my lawyer's office signing divorce papers. She's agreed to all your terms, he says, sliding the documents across his desk. No alimony, 50-50 split of marital assets. She returns all gifts over $5,000. She's not even fighting it. Why not? Because she knows she'll lose. With the evidence you have, any judge would rule in your favor. She's taking the settlement and moving on. Where is she now? Living with her parents. Lost her apartment when she couldn't pay rent. Most of her friends have cut contact. She's essentially persona non grata in the social circle she wanted to join. I should feel triumphant. Instead, I just feel tired. And Roman in rehab unofficially hiding from the press while his team tries to salvage his career. The other women you mentioned have started coming forward. He's facing multiple lawsuits. I sign the papers. My marriage officially over. What are you going to do now? My lawyer asks. Focus on my company. Try to rebuild some normally. You're a folk hero on the internet. You know, the husband who fought back. There are memes, fan accounts, people calling you a legend. I don't feel like a legend. I feel like a man who lost his wife and had to destroy her to protect himself. That's because you're human. But you did the right thing. They were going to ruin you quietly. You made sure if you went down, they went down harder. I leave the office and drive home. The media has finally moved on to other scandals. My street is quiet, normal. Inside, the house feels empty. Celeste took her things last week while I was at work. Clothes, jewelry, personal items. The spaces where her belongings used to be are obvious. The house is mine now, legally and literally, but it doesn't feel like home. My phone rings. Malik, hey, you busy? Just signed the divorce papers. Then you're definitely not busy. Come to Murphy's bar. I'm buying. Murphy's is our usual spot. A dive bar with good beer and zero pretension. Malik is at our regular table. 2 beers already waiting. To freedom, he says, raising his glass. To survival. I counter. We drink in silence for a moment. Then Malik says, you did good, man. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you did. I destroyed 2 people's lives. They destroyed their own lives. You just made sure everyone saw it. Is there a difference? Yeah. Intent. They intended to hurt you. You intended to protect yourself. That matters. Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm just too close to it to see clearly. What now? He asks. Now I figure out how to live with what I've done. You'll be fine. You're stronger than you think. Am I? Because I don't feel strong. I feel like I became the villain to fight the villains. Sometimes that's what it takes. World's not fair, Jules. Sometimes you have to fight dirty to survive. We finish our beers, then another round. By the time I leave, I'm not drunk, but I'm pleasantly numb. The edges of my anger and pain softened. I drive home carefully, park in my driveway, and sit in the car for a long moment, staring at my house. Then my phone buzzes, an email from an unknown address. Subject, thank you, Mr. Kesler. You don't know me, but I wanted to thank you. I was involved with Roman Drake 2 years ago. He did the same thing to me, pursued me, made promises, then threatened and humiliated me when I tried to end things. I was too scared to come forward. But after seeing what you did, seeing you stand up to him publicly, I found the courage to contact a lawyer. I'm filing charges. Because of you, he's finally going to face consequences. Thank you for being brave enough to fight back. Jennifer, I read the email 3 times. Then I read the next one and the next. 5 emails total, all from women Roman had manipulated, all saying my actions gave them courage to come forward. I sit in my car, in my driveway, reading these emails from strangers. And for the first time in weeks, I feel something other than anger or regret. I feel like maybe, just maybe, what I did mattered. Not for revenge, not for justice. But because sometimes when you shine a light on darkness, other people find the courage to step into that light, too. I go inside, pour myself a bourbon, and sit in my home office. The house is quiet, empty, but it's mine. Tomorrow, I'll start rebuilding. I'll focus on my company, on my friends, on creating something positive from the wreckage. But tonight, I let myself feel everything. The pain, the anger, the strange sense of satisfaction, the guilt, the relief. Tonight, I'm just a man who fought back and survived.